All the guns you'll be seeing today are available on solware.co.uk, based in Tamworth. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's test and review day with our Kral Np in the blue laminate stock. Seems to shoot really well, matched with the JSB exact Diablos in 177. Now how does this test work? Well, down there on our range, 23 metres away, we've got 2 targets at the moment. The first one's got 5 small targets. If you hit the red bullseye on those 5 targets, you'll get 10 points each for those, and that's your 50 points. Next target, you need to get 5 shots inside the number 10, and that will give you another 50 points, so that's 100. Then we go to our third card, which is called the rings, the top row, and there's 4 rings. Those are worth 5 points each. If you get those, that'll get you to 120, and then if you get your bonus shot, which is a little one just the size of a pellet, if you get one inside there, that's worth an extra 15, and we call it the 135 test. Now, not every gun hits 135, as you can obviously guess, so we say that anything over 110 is a pass. So we're hoping that today, once this MPO2 laminate is put through its paces, it would beat 110. I hope it gets a lot more than that, to be honest with you, because I do really like these, the MPO2. I wanted a 177 because we've had a .22 in, but when this come up in the laminate stock, I thought yet even more reason to go and get it. So obviously I'm hoping this does well today. It's a gun that I've always rated is the MPO2, along with the Myth. I think they're the 2 unsung heroes, I really do, of the airgun world, especially in the PCP range. We've got both in at the moment, the 177 Myth and the 177 MPO2, and they are cracking guns, they really are for the money. Anyway, waffling on a bit now, let's get him out there, let's get this test started. Okay then, let's get underway. First shot. That's a 10, nice start. Shot 2. Just in the 10. Both have shot a little bit low, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a help as it goes on here. Just one click up just to help out. Shot 3. Just again. He's only just scoring these, but they're counting. Perfect. Right then. Yeah, perfect. Last one on card 1, lovely. On to card 2. It's a good one. Same shot again. One more for a full house. Yeah, no problem at all. So out of the first 100 points, he scored 100. Let's see who he gets on now on the rings card. Okay, we move to our rings card. We're in the red rings, top line, and the one just underneath. Shot 1. Ooh, that might be close. Missed that one for certain. Got that one, however. 130 is still up for grabs. Okay, put one in the bonus shot to get 130. Went a bit wobbly on that card there. I have no idea why. He's been shooting really well, and that one's a mile away, so that has to be a bad pellet, I would have said. not even got an idea where. Yeah, that's double loading, that's why. Right, last shot, here we go. I'm not sure. I'll have to get the card in and check that, but had a bad pellet there, as you could see, and then it had a double lowered, and then we actually got the shot away, but whether he's got it or not, I'm unsure at the moment. Well, yeah, I've got the card and he scored 130, but in my personal opinion, if this would have probably used a single shot tray, it seems to me that the magazine in the 177 drags a bit, especially with the exacts. I think they're sticking inside the magazine, they don't load very well, and I think that was causing so many driftaways there towards the end. But it's a 130, we don't reshoot, so we'll get 130 today, and that is passable. Now, next test for it. What kind of power does this put out? Let's see. Okay then, 5 shots over our chronograph. Here we go. Shot 1, 230. Shot 2, 230. Shot 3, 230. Shot 4, 231. And the last one, 229. So we'll give it 230. And saying that gun isn't regulated, they were really close readings. So 230 it scores. Let's see how it gets on when we put it through our calculator. I'll just remove that so I can get at the right. 230 meters per second is 754 feet per second, 754.5 actually. So 754.5 is our reading. .5. Let's calculate that up. Right, the power, and I'm quite surprised at this, I thought it'd have a little bit more, but it's come up as 10.62 is the power output, and that's 14.4 joules. Now, I've got to admit, seemed a lot more powerful than that. I mean, it seems to hit with a fair old crack, but that's the readings I've got today. It's making sure I've got the right weighting for the projectile, because they're 8.4 grains, I'm sure these are 8.44. That might make a slight touch of difference. Just a moment. Put that on there. Calculate again. Yeah, it's gone up a slight touch, nothing much. It's gone up to 10.67 the power output, and the energy expressed in joules is now 14.47, but at least we've got it right now. We'll now move over to the review. Okay, it's review time. Well, I don't really need to say much on this gun because you already know it's a gun. I'm going to be honest with you, it's the first PCP I ever had was one of these. I had the standard MPO2 in .22, and it was a little bit of a disaster, the first one I had. The second one I had was beautiful to use, and I had many a happy day out with that gun. The guy who bought it off me, obviously he'll be having plenty of happy days with it now, but it was a little bit of a hard choice to let that one go, I've got to be honest with you. I really did like it. This, however, is a different kettle of fish. This is in 177, and as I say, it's got this lovely blue and grey laminate stock. Still shoots exactly like my 2.2 to be fair, and the accuracy is just as good as well. As you could probably see by the chronograph readings, that this gun, even though it's not regulated, if you get one that's on some of these and they're hitting the chrono at about the same reading every time, they're fantastic little guns. They really are. Things you need to remember: you have the first tank on the front and you've got the big tank on the back. I think it works out to 530cc for the two tanks, if my memory serves me right. That is a hell of a lot of shots, especially in 2.2. You'll probably get a bit less in 177, but in 2.2 you're probably looking at 200 plus shots out of that. Magazine on the 177, 14 shots. That's plenty enough really in any magazine, 14 shots. If I put a bigger scalp on this, I could probably get even better results with this. I'm using a Wolf Sport 3B9 B40. Decent little scalps, don't get me wrong, but if I went and put a big Nico Sterling on there, I could probably achieve a better reading. and a better score. But scopes I'm using this time, they're just here at the moment. Adjustable butt piece, as you can see. Cocking lever can be a little bit Marmite. It's on the left hand side. I know some of you prefer the cocking lever to be on the right, but it's on the left hand side on these, as you can see. There's the power adjustment, sub 12 £1. Will you mess with it? I doubt you ever will, but it's there. Safety catch there, built into the side, sunk in quite deep, can be a little bit faffy to get to, but to be quite honest with you, I'm not the kind of person when I'm out in the field who bothers with the safety catch. It's not that I'm not safety conscious, it's just that I have the gun rested on top of a cradle, and when the gun's on the cradle and nobody goes near it, it shouldn't go off. When I lean forward and need to take a shot, it's there, it's ready. I don't need to make any clicking noises to scare my quarry away, so I just like to leave it without the safety catch on. It's very rare I use a safety catch, I will be honest with you. I know a few of you out there will, and it's there, and it's sunk, and it's there if you want it, but I'm really not a safety catch enthusiast, shall we say. The way I see it is, as long as the gun's in a cradle and it's safe, there's no need to have it on because nobody's going to touch it. So that's my take on that. However, the gun itself, I fitted the Hatsan silencer to. It's a silencer that I mainly use on all my guns really because it works really well. It's not a small one, it's quite a large silencer. It works really well with it because these, if you don't put a silencer on them, they do go with quite a crack. They're quite a loud gun. All in all, what you've got with this gun is it's a budget PCP, but I think it gives you a little bit more than what its price range says. Now, don't forget, this is going to be up against some really big guns that are out there at the moment when it goes into its Battle League. The reason I threw this in, we threw the Myth in against some of the top guns, didn't we, in our last Battle League? And didn't that do well? I think came second or third in amongst some really big guns that are out there at the minute. Didn't embarrass itself at all. And I think this can possibly do the same. And I'm just trying to prove to you that sometimes you don't really need to go to that £1,000 mark plus for a gun when one of these will do the job for you. I'm not a massive name snob. I don't really go for names. Some people say Kral, Reximex, the Turkish line of guns are really not that good a gun. They're just bargain bucket guns. Trust me, if you get one that's, you know, really set up right and it's working right, you'll have some fantastic fun with them. They are one hell of a gun. This one, I think, could be one of those guns, so I think it'll give some of the bigger guns that's out there in our league this time a little bit of trouble. I'm not saying it'll beat all of them, but I'm saying it'll be there or thereabouts. It will give them a little bit of trouble. And from that, well, today we found out that it's at a 130 on test. I would have thought it would hit 135, to be honest with you, but 130 is good enough. It's a pass. Wasn't fantastically accurate. It was just scraping some of the shots, I will admit, but it was there or thereabouts, and it's not really had a lot of fettle in this gun. It's bought in, scalp on, a couple of shots with it to level it in. It's done its pellet test, had a little bit of a tune before it's had its what, but that's all it's had hardly any messing with, and it's there, it's scoring 130s, which is great. The stock, I think, just stands out. If you're in a gun club or something, you've got this, you're going to stand out a bit. The standard gun of these, I think at the moment, is about £380 for one of these at the moment. This one is 520. Now I know that's a great big jump in money just for that little bit of stock, but if you want to stand out and look different, that is a fantastic looking gun. It's a fantastic looking gun that shoots well. The power, 10.6, that's okay, as long as you don't go underneath the 10.5 mark, I'd say you're fine. Now don't forget as well, this is a new gun and it's not being used that much at all, so this could still be yet freeing itself up. So power could increase on this in time. But that is the test and review for this gun. I think these are an outstanding gun for the money they cost. and I would recommend it to anybody who's starting out. Just ask them before you take it away from the shop, and if they're a shop of any credibility, they will do this for you. I know the lads at Solware have no problem at all. Ask them to put it over the chronograph and just make sure that it's shooting, I would say, within 10 foot-pounds in every shot. It's got to be within that kind of region, and the reason that you want it within that kind of region is due to the fact is some of these, when they first come out, did have sticky valves and problems with the valves, but if you get one that's got a decent valve in and, you know, gets the kind of readings that we were getting today over our chronograph, you've got a decent gun. And I've got to admit, as I say, any gun shop that's worth their worth will do that for you. I know Solware will. They've got no problem at all with testing one over the chronograph before you take it. But just test it and you'll see straight away that these are unsung. Test and review done. Really enjoyed doing this one today. It is a gun that I really like, the NP02. I know it's only bargain bucket, but I think they're just a fun little gun. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. We'll see this gun next time out when it gets in our battle league. Bye bye now.